What's up, guys? It's your boy Dino here, coming at you with a Super Saiyan 3 GT deck. I mean, obviously, you're going to pick Super Saiyan 3 as a leader simply because, especially with that new list releasing with Bandai officially saying they weren't going to mess with Super Saiyan 3, only going to mess with Flute, made things a whole lot easier, and hopefully, we won't see stuff like Hirudegarn Storm just going crazy all over the format like it was. But let's get into it. So, with most decks this format, we're going with ya boy, the one-drop crit Trunks. And here, I mean, you can obviously see boy's pretty good. Turns 1500, crit, self-awakening really fast. Not as fast since Flute's getting limited to 1, but that's kind of how it goes. But second up, obviously, our boy Chain Attack. Due to obviously getting to play a free body for honestly 2 is really easy, and even if you hard cast them, you're getting 2 bodies for free. Like obviously Zeno, which we'll get to him in a second. Up next is obviously for any GT deck, Grand Tour. Because, I mean, gets to play any of your free Gokus, Trunks, this Trunks, Pan, any of your good things. Free blocker, especially with Super Saiyan 3. If you hit that 1 awkward mana, you can still at least try and get a body on board and still try and recoup with that 1 energy kind of hurting you pretty bad. Up next, we have my favorite artwork for a GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku, also known as Hadouken Goku. Obviously our Victory Fist. He plays into the deck a whole lot more in the later game, especially when you're trying to do a close finish. Like say you're going up against Mirror Match, Pan, Monkeys, Veggies, really depends on what you're going up against. Plus he's a free 25 that you can evolve on any of your guys. Destruction Champa, because giving your guys double strike for free when your opponent's not expecting it is always so much value, especially if you get it on our Crit Boy, or when we get a little bit later into the deck, you'll see why also it can be some late game just finishing tech. Up next, we also have 2 Vados' Assistants. I only run 2 in the deck because of the fact that there's just some times where I just don't need the restack. Plus, she's a good negate, but at the same time, like, I'd much rather go with a body, like with a Topo, or if I was running red, I'd go with a Vegeta. But it's just a good counter, but not one that's immediately at the forefront of my mind. Our pseudo second super combo in the deck. I only run 3 of him because there are some times where you just wind up with too many 10Ks in your hand. Either too many 10Ks or he's just not going to net you enough. And with him not netting you enough, like granted the draw and the plus 1,000 can be awesome, but like I said, like too many thousands in a hand, it really just kind of bites the bullet because it's, yeah, you're stuck up a creek without a paddle. But it also helps because you can sometimes evolve on top of him. Speaking of our boy, 2 Pride and Justice Topo, or Pride and Justice Topo. Awesome counter. The fact that he only costs 2 if you or your opponent's life is at leaders at 15k attack, kind of just a really good thing for 2, which late game can just save you. Say that one guy decides to drop, say, Scientist Fu. It really hurts when you can't counter or block it, but if you have this boy for 2, it's pretty good. Makes things a whole lot easier, plus saves you in the long run. He's saved me in the long run more times than I can count. Then, one of our favorite blockers, also in any red GT deck, Pan. Lovely little blocker, boosts all your guys. We'll get to her importance a little bit later. But, yeah, no, the fact that she gives all your guys double strike that are red, boosts them by 5, just a really strong card. I want to bump her up to 4, but every time that I have tried to, it's just kind of backfired. The ratios just work out a whole lot better when I don't. So there's that. Next, Determined Super Saiyan Son Goku. Boy goes crazy good with Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 3. The fact that when you self awaken so fast, you just got a 5 drop off of a free Grand Tour or a Trunks is just ridiculous. Especially when you get into later, because then he just makes an amazing evolved target. And the fact that he also has critical also plays into us running Champa in the deck. Say you just have him left in your deck, and as far as like a critical body, you have a couple Champas in hand, just go nuts and seal the game out. Had to do that a couple of times during tourney, which is kind of hilarious. We run 2 Rushing Warrior Pan, simply because combo with her on the battlefield, draw a card. She's hittable off of Grand Tour, 5k boost to your bodies, which we'll play in a little bit later too. But like the deck's whole premise is to just kind of like set up Super Saiyan 4 to just kill you, and also be able to like put pressure on decks like say Great Apes, Hurrigarn if you ever get the chance to, if it's not Storm, which kind of sucks, but it happens. Mass Saiyan, stuff like that. Stuff that's really trying to push you and kind of make your life way lower. And especially with Super Saiyan 4 getting you so quickly into that situation. Or, sorry, Super Saiyan 3. Like, he's a double-edged sword in itself. Like, the fact that he gets you down so fast. Speaking of Super Saiyan 3, we run our little Evolve Goku, because, I mean, it sucks to have to do it, but evolving him on top of, say, Unbreakable Saiyan or the Determined Super Saiyan, the fact he untaps an energy and gives you a draw card is pretty strong, as well as the fact that he has deflect. So, say if someone's running Crusher Ball, Cold Bloodlust, which, I mean, in my locals, we still have a guy who's running around with Ginyu, which can sometimes be a little bit of a pain. But no, he's really strong, as well as the fact that he's just kind of an extra body where it's like you're not going to be able to stop what's coming next. And we run 3 pint-sized Son Goku, because we're trying to either search out our pseudo super combo, Hadouken Goku, or Victorious Fist if you want to go off of the technical term. We also can search any of our untapped power or another pint size if we're really trying to dig, as well as he's just a free 500 combo power, as well as a hit off of Grand Tour, so that way you at least have a body on board that you can start swinging with instead of just being left kind of naked in the dust and just kind of whiffing. So there's that. We are then running 3 of the Triple Flash Super Saiyan 4. The fact that this guy has deflect, as well as the fact that he's a triple striker that says can't be countered if his attack is 400 or more, or sorry, 40,000 or higher, is just unbelievably strong. Like, there are times where you just chump out everybody's blockers when it's like really late in the game, and then you finish with him, and it's just crazy. The biggest combo that I've done is, before evolving into him, we will go swing with Victorious Fist, untap him, boost him by 5, and then play another Victorious Fist on top of him, swing, boost by 5, untap again, and then evolve with that mana that's just left over, or sorry, energy that's left over, and then just seal the deal with a big guy who's just ready to just punch throats. Either that, or I'll play Fearless Pan on top of him, giving him a boost, and if I'm at the 4th mana and I have her play Rushing Warrior, and with Rushing Warrior just make your boy big, as well as get that free draw card, which I just feel like getting card advantage is just so good in this game. We run this one I get some flack for, but he's also really good, because the times that I've been able to use him is just insane. We run the Ultimate Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. Some people have asked me why I run him. It's simply because he's just really powerful. The fact that you can discard 2 cards and untap him is just unbelievable. So you can go swing with our Triple Flash. Triple Flash didn't get his damage through, but they have just now wasted all their blockers and everything else, and he's your last man standing. Just pay the 1 red, discard 2 cards, or discard 2 cards, and then just plop him down for free. And then there's a big old ultimate that, if he got boosted enough, is gonna be punching some throat, which really powerful, especially if your hand's like super big given the amount of red cards that we run. If you get to the point you can just constantly keep on tapping him and make your opponent burn through so many resources that it's just kind of good night Irene, and they're just out of resources, which in this game is like such a big deal. The amount of times where I've gone in and just kind of made someone whittle down their hand while mine is still just kind of like staying almost the same has been like so many times, and it works out so well. We also run a couple of black cards in this deck. So this is kind of a red, black, blue variant of Super Saiyan 4. We run 2 of Trunks' Power Overseeing Time. The minute most people see me playing GT, they immediately try and stall me out. And the fact that they're trying to stall me out kind of just is rough, because I burn through so many resources. But the fact that this guy is able to get resources back so fast, like say early game you had to discard one of your big pieces, like say either Chain Attack, Triple Flash, or Unbreakable, for Son Goku to get your 2 energy. Getting that back can be such a big advantage. I mean, granted, it is for 2 energy, but he also is Double Strike, and the fact that he gets you any combo piece back from the warp that's a battle card, like you could get a Champa back, you could get back a Trunks, a Pan, a Super Combo, is just too strong to kind of ignore. Like, everybody goes with Fu, but like, granted, there's the draw 2 cards, but those 2 cards could also kind of be rough, whereas this one's just kind of a, I get to pick, and the fact that he's just a 2k Double Strike just out the gate, which also can be just a game-changing finisher. The other black card that we run, because monkeys, as well as everybody getting to run those free blockers, like, say, Swap, anything that's running Legic, Pan, anything else that just gets a free blocker. Even I've seen with Maidens, the Dash Pack Bardock. He has been a champion so far with this deck, especially if you combo him with Champa. The fact that he says that your opponent can't activate blocker or combo with cards in the battle, or combo with cards in the battle area is ridiculous. Like, he has sealed games on his own, because it'll be like a big board of monkeys that I'm going up against, and it's like, say, Ginyu or Swap, and they're really down on life, and you're really just kind of just pushing for that extra damage. Also, the fact that he's critical just is so strong, because you don't have to give them those cards, which is just really strong in this game. I think critical is like a very heavy, like, it's definitely seeing its heavy use in this format right now, but it definitely, when I first started playing the game, was not seeing as much like love, I guess, in my local community as it was, or as it should have been. And now that it's picking up a whole lot more steam, like, this guy is just so powerful. There are so many times where it's like I'm going up against something that's just running Double Strike, but it's not crit. I get hit with it, and I'm like, I will gladly take the damage, but whenever I see a crit, I will try and block it, because I'm trying to keep those cards in my hand, which most other players, like you should be, are trying to do it. Also, the fact that that there are some in my community who still run Frieza, and I've run into Frieza players and such, as well as just Swap in general. They run Crusher Balls, so obviously we're going to have minus kill zone. It really sucks when you're trying to seal for game and they Crusher Ball or Cold Bloodlust your Bardock or anything else that's like really important, like also Fearless Pan. Minus kill zone, the fact that it's just get rid of 3 cards and then draw a card is super strong. I enjoy it a whole lot, as well as the fact that it just kind of helps with the deck. Granted, it's a little bit more black than I would like to. What I would like to do is turn the Trunks into Zenos, so that way I can just reset board state. I just don't have access to Zenos at this point. I should be getting them pretty soon. But to round out the deck then, and I get some flack for this, but we're running 2 different super combos. we're running 2 boost attack Piccolos. The reason why we run boost attack Piccolo is because this is kind of an offensive defensive variant that I'm running. We run the 2 boost attack because if we're trying to push for game, we want to just continually draw for those cards. But if we're trying to stay in for the long haul, here come Kabitos. Kabito Kai. This guy has been unbelievably strong. Like, the amount of times where I've had to bounce back a Champa or something else that's giving double strike, it has saved me on several occasions. Helped me against Victory Strike because he was about 1,000 above me, and Kabito Kai just sealed it so that way, granted, he got that 1 card in, but his energy was all tapped, and he was left kind of in the dust. Like, yes, it's kind of catch-22, giving a card back to your opponent, but it just works out so well to the point where it will just kind of win the game, either win you the game, or it puts you so far ahead of your opponent as far as, like, being able to combo out or leaving them with that wasted energy, that you just kind of get to sit back being like, okay, I know that they have this either super combo or this 1k back in their hand, which probably is just going to be a 1k because who's bouncing a super combo back to their hand? Kind of a bad idea. But you know that you know at least they have that 1 combo piece that you did not want to see before. But now that you're on the offensive, you could be a little bit more lenient or plan ahead and plan around that piece. Or if you're just trying to finish for game and trying to, well, actually you can't. But if you're just trying to survive for like 1 more turn, he can be just such a strong like blowout. So that is kind of how the deck rounds out. We would run, instead of the Trunks, I'm kind of on a 50-50 whether or not I'd swap out the Trunks or the Bardock, or I would swap out the minus kill zones and put those in the side deck and just main deck the Zenos. Because the amount of times where I've gotten hit with a main deck Zeno has been far too many, and it just sucks. Like, I didn't think that I would be upset at a card as much as I am with Victory Strike and Zeno. The fact that Zeno can just reset the board, and if someone's, say, playing Pan, just gets them 6 cards to your 5, that's just even more card advantage and just kind of better resource management. But onto the side deck. Our side deck is kind of rounded out the way it should be. There's always that one cheeky player who thinks that they're going to get away with going with Shugesh play because, if everybody's playing Cronoa, or if no one's playing Cronoa and doesn't even think that I'm going to be playing Shugesh, then hey, I'm going to play Shugesh. Or it also works with the swap, the fact that you can just say, hi, you might be using your Plucky Dynasty Pan super combo to swap out into a new card, but no, I am going to stop that. Then there is the third Bardock, just because he seals the deal very well. And if I know that if I know I'm going up against a heavy blocker lineup, I will start trying to punch throats so fast, and he just helps so much for advancing the game state. And then, kind of weird, double Haru Haru, just because Haru Haru, the fact that she untaps mana and everything, and gives you just more plays is unbelievable. As well as, if you're trying to seal the deal, can make Bardock or Trunks way easier to get, or you have a minus kill zone and then you're able to use your minus kill zone off the 3 and then also be able to play a Bardock. She's just really powerful as far as a side deck card, especially if you're running against yellow or green, like androids or swap. So that's really helpful. If you're in the mirror match against something like this, you're going with Planet M2, just because, I mean, granted, you're not running Dr. Mew, so you're not getting the draw card, but the fact that you can just say, oh, someone else is running a Trunks, and I know that they run Zeno or something like that, or they're running something that's just kind of a pain, make it lose attack and then just pop the sucker. The amount of times that I've done that, or the fact that I've put my opponent's leader to 5k compared to my 15k, it's just helped me seal the deal even faster because they have to combo even harder to get out. And if they don't, it's just kind of like, oh, hey, I win the game. And then for the final piece, which I'm thinking of bumping to 2 instead of the 1 that I've got, Mirror Creator Absorbed. This guy is just unbelievably strong. Like, if he's a late game finisher, uh, he just seals the deal. Like, if you combo with him and a Champa, that's just so huge. The minute that I saw this card coming out, I thought this should be either a staple side deck card or at least a one of in main decks, simply because of the amount of power that he can push out, as well as the fact, like, even with 10 cards with 5,000 power, that's 50,000 power on top of a 30,000. That's an 80,000 just for just the overwhelm cost, which is just scary in my eyes. Like, I thought that getting hit with a King Vegeta that's making all the ape combo pieces free is scary, but it's even scarier when you get hit with that. It's actually, I've seen it just sideswipe apes because they're like, oh yeah, no, this isn't a problem. What is this thing? Also, the fact that he has deflect is ridiculous because no Crusher Ball, no Cold Bloodlust, nothing that's going to stop him out of there. It just puts you in a better position to just outright kill your opponent. Even if you say it's really late in the game and you're able to warp 20 cards, you're in a huge advantage because he big. And then Champa making him a double strike just makes it even worse because they're going to have to try and combo out of it, and either that or they're going to lose some blockers really fast. And if there's a way that you can find to either keep him in your grave or find a way to recur him, like, say, with Trunks, it's even better. Like, the fact that Trunks allows you to get him back again. You might not get him that turn, but he will be coming back, and your opponent might be having to deal with an even bigger dude coming really soon. It just kind of adds on to it really, really easily. So yeah, this is kind of the round out of the deck. It's done me really well. I've been topping a whole lot more after doing a little bit of tinkering. I'm still on the 50-50 of who I want to pop out for the Xenos. I'm thinking about either siding minus Killzone since it's a free draw card, or siding out one of the attackers, just because it might just be a little bit more advantageous to do so. It really just depends, though, on personal preference. But yeah, no, this deck has done really well, and very much one of my favorites that I've built so far. So yeah, if you want any more tips like this or any more deck videos, send me or hit that subscribe button. Also the notification bell for any further updates. This has been Primeval Time, and I've been your host, Dino. Thank you so much for tuning in, and keep it wild.